All right, y'all, welcome back to another video. Today we're actually going to go out and take a look at the lawns in my neighborhood. As you may remember, a couple of weeks ago I started a series, or I said I was starting a series where we're going to go take a look at lawns in my neighborhood and how they look during the drought. And now that the drought is over, it's been over for a little bit more than a week. We've had lots and lots of rain, lots and lots being a technical term. Now we're going to go out and take a look and see how the lawns are recovering. And today I'm going to ride this bike right here. This is the Fucare Gemini, and this one has been sent to me for free, so just keep that in mind. Now I'll just tell you straight up, the Gemini is a beast. This thing weighs in at 103 pounds plus the battery, so well over 100 pounds, and that's why they call it an electric cargo bike. You can see it's super beefy. Nice, big, strong girders. Let me look at these welds right here. I'm not a welder, but that looks pretty good. Now they actually sent me this basket that goes on the back, as well as these really cool motorcycle looking bags here, so I can look like I'm dominating with my accessories. But there it is, 750 watt motor, which seems to be standard with most of these. Top speed 28 miles per hour, which I was able to get it there. And just like all of these bikes, you can ride this thing manually. You can ride it with pedal assist, where the motor assists you when you're pedaling, or then you can go full throttle. And with that introduction, let's take this out for a spin. Let's go look at some lawns. Okay, this is the one that had suffering from heat stress from a hot mower, and you can see it's green back up, and it's still got a few areas that are going to need to thicken back up, so we'll just watch those fill back in. But overall, it is looking a whole lot better. All of that just from some good rains, good magical rains. So I want to get in here real quick. This one has mostly come back, but that's just a lot of junk grass in there and a lot of wild Bermuda. There's almost no St. Augustine left in that lawn at all. Okay, here's this one that I said was just classic poor watering, and you can see it's back to beautiful and green now because the rain has helped. Look at that domination line. His neighbor gave him that though, because he just mowed. Uncut man, cut man. When it comes to the St. Aug, the uncut man will always look better, but still a lot of wild Bermuda in here. A lot of it. A lot of wild Bermuda in here, but the St. Aug is starting to stick back up now. Where the watering is better, the St. Augustine is thicker, and where the watering is not as good, it's almost all Bermuda. So it seems like Bermuda grass does better in the drought than does the St. Augustine. At least that's what. Anyway, see that? Lots of wild Bermuda in there, but it's all green back up now. But over there, predominantly St. Augustine. Over here, predominantly wild Bermuda. This guy right here, he just got done mowing. Okay, here's this parkway I said I wanted to monitor, and you can see it's all greened up now. Mostly greened up. Still a lot of dead, but the stuff that's greening up, you know what it is? Wild Bermuda. And so you can see St. Augustine still hanging on the edges, but the middle, almost all wild Bermuda. And that's why I tell y'all it's so important that when we're having a drought or whatever, you got to water your way through it. You got to try to keep your St. Augustine thick and vigorous, because if you let it go dormant like that, the thing that moves back in is not St. Augustine, but it's wild Bermuda. Now that's also one of the things though that makes the Pro Vista St. Augustine grass a good choice for a lot of you, because then it doesn't matter, because then you have glyphosate as a tool, and glyphosate will kill the Bermuda grass. In case you don't know, Pro Vista is glyphosate tolerant. So therefore you can spray the glyphosate as a tool to kill the Bermuda. And so then you can wait, you can let that St. Augustine regrow if you let it go dormant and lost some areas. So that's the big selling point for Pro Vista down here in Florida, over by there. And this is what I'm most excited for you to see. It's the Bahia grass. Just look at how green and thick that has gotten already, just from rain. Look at this. Bam. Now it's still thin overall, but it's not dead. This was not watered. It was like a yellowy pale color, flat mostly. Now you can actually see it's actual turf grass. And from the side, it looks really good. When you look down on top of it, you can definitely see that it's got thin spots in it, but looking much, much, much better. So if I could, I'd throw some nitrogen in one spot and not another and show you what it does. But maybe I'll do some other stuff. We'll throw some stuff on here or spray something on, and we'll kind of see what it does if I can thicken it up without nitrogen. So it'll be fun, but I wanted to show you. Bahia grass, I'm telling you, you guys that hate on it, I almost think it's a conspiracy to hate on it because it's actually so easy to care for. There's no reason to hate on it. So I guess the first thing I'll say is, how about the recovery of those lawns? And what that's illustrating, and the reason I wanted to do this, and we're going to keep looking at these as time goes on. Well, as long as they keep sending me bikes, we'll keep looking at these lawns. But I'm just joking. We'll do it anyway. But the idea is to look at how fast warm season grass recovers once the rain kicks in. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rain is magical, and all the irrigation that you do will not replace it. Now that we've got rain, the grass is growing, it's thriving, and you can see it's already recovering. But the big thing to realize is the areas that were allowed to go dormant during the summer, those are now being filled in with wild Bermuda, which creates a whole nother problem. We'll continue monitoring as the season goes on. For now, let's take a little bit more of an in-depth look at the Gemini. I was talking a lot about the weight, which makes me think about battery drain. Now here's the thing. You've got 30 amp hour, hold on. You got 30 amp hours in batteries here, 15 amp hour, 15 amp hour, and they are a Samsung brand name battery. So that's why they say the range is up to, I think, 120 miles or so. That's with the pedal assist or whatever, but 30 amp hours is a lot for a bike and will take you plenty far. I also tested the hydraulic brakes and they work great. And as you saw, I also took this bike, well, I call it off-road, onto some shell dirt paths, and it did great, handled well, and was pretty nimble through even some of the softer stuff. So not necessarily an off-road bike, more of a heavy-duty cargo cruising bike, but I had a lot of fun taking it off-road, and I plan to test it and stress it a little bit more. Now, one thing is I like to customize these types of things. I like to kind of customize the ride. You know, like when I'm pedaling, I like to adjust the sensitivity or maybe the speed that the assist goes at, because you have 5 different levels of pedal assist, and I like to adjust those. And the only way to really do that here, because there's no app, there's no Bluetooth capability here, no way to dial into it through an app. You have to do everything through the screen, and so you have to kind of hold down the plus and minus like this, and then you get into the screen right there, and then you kind of have to know how to change these. I'm saying all that to say is if you're like me and you like to customize your e-bike, you like to customize the different levels in the ride, that's a little bit more difficult to do with this because there's not a convenient app or Bluetooth connectivity. But I will say the way they have the pedal assist configured right out of the box is comfortable for me. Overall though, good bike, great quality, well put together, heavy duty, fun to ride, and slightly good off-road too. So lots of good things to say about that. Leave me your comments and questions below, and I'll see if I can answer them. Thanks a lot to Fucare for sponsoring this particular video and for sending me yet another wonderful e-bike. I'll see you guys on the lawn.